welcome to another episode in the Hotfixing the NFL series, the series where we take teams one by one and add a hotfix, a day one patch to the team at the beginning of the new season, just kind of ironing out any issues the team might have, ironing out any weaknesses that may still exist. Alright, so let's dive into this one here. It's going to be the Cowboys today. They did add a lot to the team. They drafted quite cleverly, I would say, and yet are there parts of the team that we could still optimize a little bit more? That's what we're going to be looking at. Let's do a deep dive. Alright, quick look here. We've got the offensive line at first glance, of course. We've got the tackle, the center, and the left tackle positions that are maybe a little bit wonky. But we've got rookies at left tackle and at center. Of course, that is something that might be a little bit of an issue. We do have Steele over on right tackle at 75 rated. I think that is decent enough. The wide receivers are good enough, I would say. We've got CeeDee Lamb, who's fantastic, of course. We've got Brandon Cooks, who's fantastic, of course. Then we do have a drop-off, Tolbert, Turpin. So there's that. The tight end, I think Jake Ferguson is solid. I wouldn't really do too much about that. The running backs are decent, again, led here by Zeke. And then we've got Dak Prescott, who is still one of the best QBs in the league. Also like the backup situation here with Trey Lance. On defense, how are things looking here? Well, quite immediately we can see that the edges are in absolute beast mode. I also think that the D tackles are really well chosen. This is just an absolutely brutal setup. The quarterbacks might not look too flashy, but again, we've got Diggs on the left. We've got Darren Bland here on the right-hand side. He's just at 88 rated, really good player. I like the strong safety. That's Wilson, of course. And we've got Malik Hooker at 85, also super solid looking. Eric Kendricks is a big addition. We've got Clark here, who is looking solid. I don't like the left outside linebacking situation. That is something that we really need to change ASAP. Apart from that, I actually couldn't really say that there's an area that is super important. On offense, I might be going with the center just to make sure that we have growth time for Cooper Beebe, who should have enough time to grow at this position. Taylor Gayton, I think that is not something that has to happen immediately. And at 73, it's decent enough. I feel like that will work. But you know, there's just positions where you immediately need to up the ante a little bit. So quarterback, we're not going to touch that. Running back, not going to touch that. Fullback is good enough. The wide receivers could take a look at this one here if we want to do that. I just don't think this is really the best receiving core here. I'm going to leave the tight ends as is. We're going to leave the left tackle position as is. We're going to leave the left guard as is. We might add something here at center. I think that could make sense. On right guard, I want to have more depth. Right tackle, Terrence Steele. We're going to leave this as is. 75 is good enough. Left edge is fantastic. We've got very good right edge. We've got solid D tackles. Again, this might be an issue regarding depth. I'd like to have a fourth D tackle here. Left outside linebacker, Tyrus Wheat. That's just one player right there. That is not good. Mid linebackers, we've got a bunch of players right there. So that might be, we might find some cutting potential in here. Right outside linebacker is good enough, but again, there's no backups. On cornerback, we might be able to cut back a little bit here because we do have a big drop-off, actually. We've got Jordan Lewis here, and then we've got rookies, but again, that is nothing too horrible. Free safety is fantastic, and then we've got the strong safeties who are also looking good in the initial setup. It's not Darren, but of course it's Donovan Wilson. Kickers, Brandon Aubrey, and then we've got Brian Anger. So yeah, that's that. Alright, so there we go. We are sending Bass to the Browns along with a 2nd and a 7th rounder for 2024. And we are receiving Ethan Pocic at center, a very experienced center from the Browns. Browns get some more draft capital, which is exactly what they need. The team has been hotfixed, if you would. It's now 85 offense, 88 defense. What did we do? Well, basically, we just added Hunter Renfro to the wide receiving group. He's a free agent at the time of recording. So there's that. Just a slight addition here. One more target for Dak Prescott. Another quality receiver that's also not too old. And then we added Ethan Podgers here at center. Just really giving this offensive line a strong centerpiece. I think Cooper Beebe is going to be good, but it'll take some time to grow accustomed to the NFL level of intensity, and this is just basically bridging that 1 year, 2 years, and having a veteran center if you need him is always good. On defense, to be fair, what we did was we just shifted and mixed and matched a little bit here, because I didn't feel that this group really needed such a gigantic buff immediately. There was a lot of quality just maybe not visible from the get-go. So what did we do? Well, quite simply, we added Marquise Bell up here. He's initially a mid linebacker, but he can also play linebacker. He even went up to 79 from 78. That is nice. Now we have a solid left outside linebacker. We've got a solid right outside linebacker, and we've got Eric Kendricks coming up in the middle or covering the middle. This is really nice. We still have this pincer action going on here between Parsons and Lawrence. We've got a solid D-tackle group. I actually really think this is a pretty solid one. Looking at the cornerbacks, I didn't change anything here. I don't think that was warranted. So again, it's more or less sometimes you just need to shift a little bit. A hotfix does not have to be something crazy. I also looked to have a lot of depth everywhere, so I added Fehoko to the D-tackle room, for instance, because we already have Sam Williams over here on right edge behind Micah Parsons anyways. So yeah, not a lot needed to be changed on this team. But yeah, nevertheless, let me know what you think of the things I did. Let me know, did we improve the team? What would you have done? What players do you think we should have looked at? But yeah, as it stands, this is it. Drop your comments down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And as always, thanks so much for being here. Stay awesome and see you next time.